Okay, good. So we just did our circle dance. Okay, tell me if you had fun by clapping. If you like it a little bit, just clap like this. If you like it a lot, clap like this. Did you like the dance? Yay! Okay, so you'll be able to see yourself on the video pretty soon, and you see how well you dance to the music. So we had our activity dancing to the music. Did you learn to dance the music perfectly? No, not once. You can't learn to be perfect any time at anything if you do it only one time, right? Just like every other kind of activity, it takes practice. So today was just an experience, right? I didn't expect you to become professional dancers today, right? Yeah. But if you want to, you practice again and again, you can get better. Now, we did several times, and at the beginning, you don't know what to do, but at the end, you figured it out. So even though we had just a few times to practice, you got better, right? So this is part of experience. When you try it and you try it over and over again, you get better and better at it, right? So if we practice again tomorrow and the next day, you know where my office is located in the main building on the first floor? Facing my office, we have the PE, the rooms for weightlifting over here and the dance studio. Did you notice the dance studio is in front of my office? So there are lots of different kinds of dance that we teach at our college. We have ballroom dancing, we have ballet dancing, we have hip-hop dancing, different kinds, and we also have different kinds of exercise. So sometimes when I go to my office, the students are in front of that area between my office and the classroom practicing. So sometimes I can't even go to my office because they're already out there practicing their moves. Some of them will be practicing their karate. Some people are out there practicing their different dance steps. So if you practice more, of course, you get better. Now, how do we apply this to our academics? Well, anything you practice more, you get better of it, right? And another thing is that you become aware of your actions when you reflect upon yourself. Sometimes I ask you to do an exercise where you do a self-assessment, right? For example, last week I had you do retelling. And then I asked you to mark which topics were easy for you and put a plus, and which topics were hard for you to put a minus. That was not for me. That's for you, so that when you review, you can say, oh, I need to spend more time with the difficult parts, right? So here's another chance for you. If you can be aware of your actions and your feelings, that's a good thing. So what can you do? You can look at the master student tip here, and the master student tip tells you about asking yourself how you feel. So the master student tip here tells you, ask yourself how you feel, because being aware of your actions and your feelings can help you learn better. It can help you learn better. So remember, sometimes I say, ask me questions when you don't understand. That's a good thing. Now I'm saying, ask yourself questions to say, how do I feel about this, right? What do I know about how much I learned? Because when you stop and reflect on your own learning, then this can make you learn more deeply. Now let's look at activity 30. It says preparing to write a report, all right? Many classes ask you to do an activity, and after you do an activity, you have to write a report about it. Let's say you want to become a nurse, and you have a project, and maybe your project is to take the blood pressure of a patient and to listen to the heart, maybe something like that. Then, do you just go home? Probably not. You have to write a report. You have to write something down, okay? You're taking a science class, and you have to do a scientific experiment. You have to write a report on what you did. Okay, so this is very common in school. You write a report about some activity that you did. So after students do activities like the dance you've just tried, instructors often ask students to give a report. Sometimes it's a written report, and sometimes it's an oral report. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What's the difference?
One is speaking, one is writing.
Yeah, one is speaking. You have to stand up and talk, right? So if it's an oral report, then you have to tell, and everybody has to understand what you're saying, right? Of course, you make notes, or maybe you write the report beforehand, but you don't turn in the written part. You explain to everyone. For example, lots of times the teacher will give either individual report or a small group report where people work together and they stand up in front of the class and then they have to tell the rest of the class about their topic. So that's an oral report. So the report might be just facts. What happened, what you did, what happened. Or it can also have some subjective part or a reflection that is where you think about what happened and you explain how you feel about that experience. All right? So some depends. Sometimes your report can be objective, only the facts. And sometimes it can be part objective and part subjective, how you feel about what happened. All right? So you have to look at the assignment, whatever the teacher gives you, no matter whether in your math class or your science class or your history class, your nursing class, any class, you have to look at the assignment carefully to find out what kind of report you need to prepare. And so if it includes a reflection, what is a reflection? Well, you know a mirror is a reflection, you see yourself, but a reflection that's in your mind. You ask yourself questions. All right, so that's the kind of reflection we're talking about here for an academic report. You give some serious thought about a topic, and you include that in your report. So the questions on this page, there are 4 questions on this page. These ask you to reflect on your experience doing this circle dance that you just did with your classmates. And they also ask you to consider the relationship between music, because music is a topic of this chapter, between music and other kinds of learning. Besides music, what can you learn from this experience that you can say, this also has implications in other academic fields? All right, so look at the questions, and then I'm going to let you have a chance to talk with your partner about it. So let me read the questions and make sure you understand them. So the first question says, how well did you follow the steps in the circle dance? Do you know the meaning of this? How well did you follow? You followed them perfectly. Every time, left, high, okay? So if you think perfectly, it would be you didn't make any mistakes. Your steps were just right. When we said circle to the left, you went step together, step, right? Circle to the, what was the other one? Walk into the middle. Hey, did you say it at the right time? Walk back out. Yay! Walk into the middle. Hey, walk back out. Yay! Okay, so the steps is ask you, did you feel like you did pretty well or terribly or not so well at the beginning but much better after you practiced the step a few times? So these are possible answers. So you don't have to give me your answer right now because you're going to talk to a partner about it, but I want to make sure you understand the question first. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, second question is, what did the music make you do? Okay, this is asking you the question about verbs, right? We understand make somebody do something. This is a grammar pattern that we're focusing on in this chapter. What did the music make you do? That means you need to follow this with verbs, okay? And if you need to go back to the Power of Grammar on page 13 to see the sentence structure, you can look at that. The third question says, how did the music and movement make you feel? And then I want you to use the word make with pattern B. So remember that one? It made me feel, it made me happy, it made me sad, it made me frustrated, it made me excited. So you can use adjective when you answer this question with your partner. All right? Now, question number 4 says, did the music and dance create a sense of community with the class? Did it create a sense of community with the class? And explain your answer. Explain your answer. All right, so now it's your turn to invite a classmate to be your partner. Would you like to be my partner? Oh, yes, I would like to be your partner. Go ahead.
Would you like to be my partner?